This video began as part of the previous video, Cosmic Questions and Answers number 8. It answered the question, what is the vertex? But the answer was so long that I decided it should have its own video. So what is this mysterious little thing called the vertex? The vertex is also known as the auxiliary descendant because, like the descendant, this item refers to the people we draw into our lives. The glyph for the vertex is an uppercase V next to a lowercase x. Now, this isn't a physical body with mass. Instead, it's a point in space that's determined by doing some math. Technically, it's the intersections of the elliptic and something called the prime vertical. In case you don't know your vertex, I added a link in the description box that will whisk you away to a vertex calculator. Another thing to know about the vertex is that, except in unusual geographical areas of birth, it can only ever be found in the chart in houses 5, 6, 7, or 8. That means the right-hand side of the chart. There's a symbolism to this fact because the right-hand side of the chart is associated with others, not the self. The vertex has a simple and interesting character. Since it isn't a planet, it has no drive in itself. In other words, it wants nothing and instead serves a function. It's a kind of gate through which your fate comes. Now, sometimes fate is decided through things like weather conditions or the circumstances of your birth or through an accident. But the vertex brings your fate through meetings with other people. Twists and turns come from running into someone, experiencing a chance meeting perhaps, or finding yourself with an obligation that causes your path to cross with someone unexpected, and so on. The vertex works like this. It's activated by conjunctions, especially with the outer planets. It's also very much affected by the moon's nodes. Because the nodes are already karmic in nature, when they hit the vertex, you tend to get karmic interactions that direct your life. What's really going on with the vertex? In the area of life associated with the house in which your vertex sits, you're extremely open to meeting others. You go into that area of life with the idea that meetings are more likely, and therefore you're going to have more of them. Let me give you some examples. We'll breeze over the vertex in each house. Vertex in the 5th. Since the 5th house is the fun house dedicated to amusement and recreation, this person will experience fated meetings surrounding play, self-expression, romance, creativity, and even children. You're more likely to have fated encounters via dating, but also in places where people are meant to have a good time, art classes, theaters, the playground. When your vertex is in the 6th house, you get fated meetings surrounding 6th house matters, such as personal health, mundane daily life, hobbies, service. 6th house vertex people often meet through shared hobbies and shared activities. but also when volunteering and even walking the dog. A seventh house vertex brings fated meetings in the arena of partnerships. You might meet people at court or in singles groups or the feng shui group or relationship self-help meetings. The eighth house vertex is an interesting one because it often explains promiscuity when other planets in the chart don't seem to. There's an openness to sexual relationships and eroticism. Fated meetings of a sexual nature happen, and following your passions causes you to cross paths with people who nudge your life in a new direction. Vertex in the eighth makes you extremely open to deep relationships and soul meetings. These may occur at a metaphysical store or occult-oriented groups as well. The last thing I want to share is that you don't find the vertex in ancient astrology. It's a modern phenomenon because it needs a modern backdrop in order to really work. It needs a high population, more chances to meet, more travel, and more opportunity. A vertex wouldn't have been able to draw in much when people were born, they lived, and they died in a 5-mile radius. The vertex was discovered in the 1940s, but it didn't even gain any popularity until the 1980s. And it seems to be having a bit of a resurgence now in terms of public interest. Thank you for watching Secrets from an Astrologer's Desk, The Vertex. Prior to moving on to the topic of Saturn, in my next video, I'm going to cover the moon's nodes. See you then.